Max Abrahms, Johns Hopkins University fellow and terrorist expert. All right, Max, what can the devices found tell us about where this might have come from? Let's just start right there.
Well, I mean, the big question now is how capable is this enemy? Is this enemy an established enemy? Does it come from a terrorist group? Where in the terrorist group pecking order does it come from? How many people were involved? I think that the sophistication of the device will provide some insight into these kinds of questions.
Max, can I stop you right there? You just raised one of my main questions tonight. How many people were involved? Now, I know it's impossible to be as specific, but what we know is there may have been 4 bombs by the grandstand, by the finish line. There may have been, okay? There may have been another bomb at JFK Library. We don't know exactly whether that was related. There's talk about 3 other bombs in subways. I don't know if that was related. In these kinds of terrorist acts, from your experience, how many people would it take to pull this kind of thing off?
My inclination, and again, we are getting ahead of ourselves, so full disclosure, I really don't know with 100% certainty, but I know that there is this talk about the lone wolf terrorist for this event, precisely because it didn't, kill that many people. My inclination is that we're talking about multiple people. So I would lean against saying that it's one person. I think it's a small cell.
A small cell. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Knowing that you've got cameras all over the city, knowing that we have the devices now to investigate those devices, what would be the timing, in your estimation, in terms of actually getting some real answers in terms of who's behind this?
Well, some people are describing this attack as if it's anomalous, in the sense that it's an anonymous attack, in the sense that nobody has claimed credit for it. And so people are waiting sort of impatiently, when is this group going to claim credit for the attack? That may never happen. The reality is that most terrorist attacks these days are precisely like this. They are anonymous.
But wouldn't we have somebody on camera? There are cameras all over Boston, like in every large city. I mean, wouldn't we have something to glean from actually looking and investigating the actual devices? You yourself said it doesn't appear to be that sophisticated a device.
I think that when I say that an attack is anonymous, what I'm saying is that we don't know the organization responsible for the attack. We may actually find evidence about who the perpetrators were. But we don't know what their connection is to a group per se.
But Max, we know they're terrorists. Everybody's acknowledged they're terrorists. You acknowledge they're terrorists. Presidents acknowledge they're terrorists. So we have to assume some things, don't we? We have to assume this was rehearsed. We have to assume they knew whether they were milling around. This is the point that I'm trying to get right up close and personal. 25 to 50 yards away from the finish line, according to former Boston Commissioner Bill Bratton from his information. How did they get there? One person couldn't have put down 4 bombs if there were 4. Even if there were 3 bombs, one person couldn't have put down 3 bombs. Not possible.
I tend to agree with you. I think that it's multiple people, but again, I mean, you talked about the trade-off between civil liberties and security. And so as much as there was security at this event, it still is essentially open to the public. So you have all sorts of people going in and out from all over the world. It doesn't surprise me that a terrorist group or a small cell would be able to plant bombs in this fashion, because even very unsophisticated devices can cause a lot of damage, and that's what we're looking at now.
Now let me ask you a question that we asked one of our earlier guests, and that is, what would you expect to be the timing in terms of planting this bomb? I mean, they couldn't have put this there a week ago and used a cell phone to turn it on, right?
I think it was quite close to the detonation.
So it was today, it was an hour or so, or I mean, now it's speculation, but I don't want to speculate. But so in other words, you think that this was planted today?
Yes, I do.
In a garbage can.
There are obviously many more people there today than there were yesterday. You know, you could easily imagine them going through, making sure the streets are clean, but once people start packing it in, that's when the chaos ensues, and that's probably when the terrorists slipped in there.
You can almost see it. Okay, so the winners of the marathon come and pass. Nothing happens, right? A lot of people in the grandstand, I don't know if you're in the grandstand, if you have to wear VIP yellow cards or badges or whatever, they start milling away. So that end of the race starts to, starts to get emptier. So these guys show up. One guy uses the trash. According to CBS News, I can't confirm anything. They put it into a trash can. Other guys just might have left it near someplace. Other guys might have just buried it while nobody was watching. Is that how this kind of thing happens?
Yeah, I think that it does. I mean, again, it requires very low capability to cause a lot of damage, particularly in a democracy. There are an infinite number of ways to create chaos. So, sure, the bombs could have been left anywhere. You know, a mailbox, a garbage, beside somebody's feet, in a knapsack. I mean, this is precisely what makes law enforcement so difficult, is that there are an infinite number of ways to inflict pain, particularly in a democratic country.
All right, Max, yeoman's work. Thank you, my friend. We appreciate it very much.